Hello friends, this video on structure of atoms part 32 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Before watching this video, please make sure that you have watched part 1 to part 31. Let's check the node count once again. The total number of nodes are given by n minus 1. That is nothing but sum of angular nodes and radial nodes. Let's see how we got this. Total number of nodes is nothing but the radial nodes plus angular nodes, right? The radial node is n minus l plus 1. N minus L minus 1 and the angular nodes is L. So if you add these two, what you get is N minus 1. So the total number of nodes is N minus 1 for a given shell. Correct? Now the question is why electron moves around the nucleus. It's a very good question. Example, I take out one electron from somewhere and I just dump it here. Why it will move? Why it will start moving? What happens to this electron? Let's start moving. So let's understand this. This is based on the Heisenberg principle. So it says that if you see right, delta x and delta m delta v is 4 by h by 4 pi. Right? So if you're saying that if you're limiting the space where it can move, the velocity will increase. Correct? So if you are specifying a fixed position of the electron, the velocity will be very high. That means you can't have a fixed position of the electron will always move. So if you get an electron from this place and let's suppose you are trying to squeeze this guy in 1s orbital, the space is very less, so the velocity will be high. It will move and move. Because you are limiting the reason for this electron to be this. So velocity will be high. Let's suppose v1 is the velocity here and here it is v2, let's suppose. So here in that case v1 will be more than v2. Why? Because in case of this v1, the space where which you have limited this electron is less actually. So in the space where you are limiting this electron to move is less, you're squeezing it, the velocity will go up. In this case, the space is more, the velocity is little less. If in infinite, the space is more, the velocity will be all the more less, right? And that's how the more squeeze it gets and the more speed it gets, and somehow it gets trade off. When you bring electron here, right, here it loses it gains the kinetic velocity. You see it goes down, gains the velocity, but it loses the freedom to move, and some way it gets a trade off and it settles down, right? So it's a happy medium actually, because when you are saying that this, suppose electron is it somehow reach proton and it merged in the proton, it's not possible, because the moment it merged in proton, you are telling that the electron position is definite. When your electron position is definite, the velocity becomes uncertain, it becomes very fast, it will jump off, right? That won't come actually, because before only it will reach a trade-off between the delta x and delta v, that is the certainty in the position and certainty velocity. It will give a trade-off and it will settle down somewhere else. These are all experimental facts. By experiments it has been proved that this thing happens in the quantum world, right? And also every electron wants to come to ground state, but if this particular, let's suppose, orbital is filled, the third electron is coming, is having no option other than to occupy these shells, and let's suppose the fifth electron comes, these are occupied, so it will occupy these shells. But they always try to come to ground state, right? Ground state is the 1s orbital where the electron, there also electron moves, but that has the least energy. Thank you. Visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thanks once again.